It's like giving me time to recoup. Okay, good morning. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of ourselves. Understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we have to shift and change the energy within. And if you were just following me on TikTok and watching this from my TikTok, I was just in tears because I really need your help. Please go to the link that you will find in below in my YouTube video or in my profile and book a reading or make a donation. I am really in need. I've been in need for a couple of months, and I've just been like accepting the bare minimum and not really advocating for myself because I was in this place where I felt like I don't want to beg. I shouldn't have to. And also, it just feels like I'm trying to navigate like talking positively about my finances on the one hand, and then having to be like, I can't survive on the other hand. So it's really difficult to navigate. But if you have been partaking of my content for the last 3 years and you haven't booked a reading or sent a donation, please go and do that. All of this takes time and it takes a lot of energy. And I put my whole heart and soul into it. And I really need to have that come back to me. And I deserve that. And I think that you'll understand the feeling because one of the reasons that you come to my readings is about because of the divine masculine and divine feminine energy that's reflected back to us in relationships. So you know how it feels to give all you can to somebody and just have them not even notice it or ignore it or give anything in return. And I'm experiencing that not only romantically, because I have been experiencing that for 10 years, but also financially. And, you know, it's not fun to start a video having a breakdown, but at the same time, it's like, how do you expect me to continue to do what I do if you don't contribute? Right? There's no one paying my salary like you all pay my salary by making sure that you offer support in some way. And so I just need to call on people to do that right now. And I wanted to get on today and be like excited and tell you that the tickets for my event are live and you can go and purchase them today. There are 30 seats available. It's starting on January 7th. It's going to be really fun. And I wanted to be in a better mood when I talked about it, but this is where I'm at. And I'm just trying to be honest about my feelings, not hide them and not mask them. And also, I think it's important that you feel safe to be vulnerable yourselves and express your needs when you have it. So hopefully you will feel, like you have the freedom to express your feelings in your life and express needs when you need to. Okay. That being said, let's get started on this reading. The first thing I'm going to have you do is envision what you think would make you feel better right now. What do you think would make you feel better right now? And I'll just give you a moment to kind of call that up into your mind. And right now in your body, if you have tension anywhere, if you have if you're someone who senses energy and you can feel that heavy energy that I have been sensing. And thank you. Thank you. People are already donating. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, honestly. So just picture something that will make you feel better. And I want you to imagine that it's happening right now, which is easy for me to do because it is happening right now. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate that so much. So start to feel in your body where you experience this thing that would make you feel better. If it were happening to you right now, where would you feel it? I mean, for me, it caused me to cry. I feel some relief. I feel my heart opening. There's overwhelmment to a certain extent, but in a positive way. So just sense into your own experience. If this thing were happening to you right now, how would it make you feel? And feel those sensations in your body. Let's take this just another layer deeper and imagine that this thing that has happened is now in the past and it's 5 years into the future. And this event that happened has really helped you to change and transform. It really did grant you everything that you were desiring that the experience would grant you, and you have all of that now. And I want you to imagine that you are at an event, a celebration of some kind, holiday or birthday, and you're surrounded by people you love, and you are expressing to your friends some of the most momentous events in your life, and you reflect back upon the event that you just imagined. I want you to describe it to them with as much detail as you can. Tell them how you feel about it now and how you can still remember how it felt at the time and describe the feelings that you had. Feel the excitement once again, or the relief once again, and feel the gratitude that you have now for that event having happened. When you're ready, come back to my voice. And thank you. I'm seeing all these amazing supportive comments coming in for all the donations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, so hopefully that visualization helps center you. It helped me a lot. Yes, I do have on my profile, there's a Venmo, Cash App, PayPal links. It says the PayPal link is the one that says support. So thank you so much. Honestly, you are really helping me. I really appreciate it. And I really do, I will do readings for anybody who has made a donation. If you want a reading, just let me know when I finish the collective reading. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really need it. So I appreciate that so much. And it's 1:11 when I look at the clock. So let's get started. Okay, so the card that I'm holding is the card that is going to give you the same feelings that you were just imagining you would feel whenever this event happened. I love you, miss you too. You're speaking your phone at work. I'll send a protective bubble around you so nobody finds out. Thank you so much. I definitely miss you too, Tanya. So there is something that would give you the same consistent feelings that you were seeking from this event that you were just imagining. And that is this card, which is the world. So vulnerability is a big thing. I was just incredibly vulnerable with all of you. And I didn't want to be, but it but my Cancer Mars and my Cancer Mercury and my Cancer Moon and my Pisces rising and my Leo all combined for an inability to hold back my emotions. But that's okay. Like it's okay. I want to, when I come here, my goal is to try to give you a reading that's going to help you. And I don't, it's not that I don't want to share what's going on with you, but nobody likes to admit when they are struggling. Nobody likes to admit when they need help, especially me. So as much as it's easy for me to like tell these like my deepest, darkest things about myself. That emotional availability thing is kind of an issue for me because I seem extremely open and I hold back like a lot of pain, a lot of heaviness, a lot of frustration, a lot of time. It comes out in my channel, and I'm sure that's why you follow me because I definitely try to be as authentic as possible. Um, but vulnerability is necessary for you to be able to survive. If you can't tell people when you're in need, they can't help you. And I'm learning that, right? One of the reasons why I have been having a difficult time is because I don't want to tell you when I go online live that I need readings, right? This is my job. I don't have another job, and maybe I should. And there's like a voice in my head that's always judging me for not having another job. But I also believe that I'm called to do this job, and um, I'm called to overcome my belief in lack and the blocks I have in receiving because I have no trouble giving. I did that stupid Cards Against Humanity, Why Am I Single thing last night on TikTok, and the answer was giving 110%. And I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, that's so accurate because I do that. I did that with my person. Not I did that. I do that with my person. Even having set a boundary with my person and pulled back my energy from my person, I still give 110% to that connection, to that relationship. I show up to do this job so I can be better for my person. And as far as I know, my person may never ever speak to me, but I still give. And it's very, very difficult, I guess, for me to receive. So being vulnerable is part of being able to receive. And most likely you are drawn here because there is something about my inability to receive or my difficulty with it rather that you resonate with. And you feel free to give to me, but make sure you're asking for what you need and also receiving what you need from others. Like use this, my vulnerability today, as a mirror for where you need to be open and vulnerable with people in your life about what you need. It doesn't have money because not everybody has the same thing that is a block for them. It can be something else. It can be physical affection. It can be time spent. It can be quality of time spent. Like there are a lot of things that you might have the same kind of block and have the same kind of fear in being vulnerable enough to ask for it. So definitely put yourself out there and ask for what you need. I'm so grateful that I did that today because the help that has just poured in will help me with what I need. Because I started to panic when I realized that at this point of the month, I'm usually trying to raise money for my car payment for next month, and I haven't completely paid my other car payment, and I just started to panic. I have to pick up my son, another trip to Massachusetts and back because my ex-husband refuses to meet me halfway, like literally and figuratively. So it's just like I started to panic and feel like so afraid, which I know then is like an energy that pushes back against what you need. So it's just better to just express it, let it out. Because if you're holding it in, you're thinking about it all the time. That's another thing I've learned. Like just writing it out and getting it out of you or speaking it out. Thank you so much for all the gifts and seeing roses and everything. Likes. I appreciate that so much. So vulnerability and also closing out cycles. So if you've had a cycle of not asking for what you need, like make a commitment to not letting that be how you getting uncomfortable in order to close cycles is really important. Like, I just have to be like asking more for financial return, even though I don't want to. I have to be uncomfortable in that way. One of the reasons I had a hard time with the management company that was helping me before on TikTok is because they wanted me to just ask for gifts and stuff. And I was just like, oh, no, I don't want to do that. And if I'm not willing to do that, then I'm not going to be somebody that they want to work with because they need to make my account grow financially on TikTok for it to be worth their while. So having to get uncomfortable is something that helps you to close out cycles of un like unfulfilling cycles because you're unfulfilled because you're unwilling to leave your comfort zone to get to that new place that you want to go. You have to close out on the past. Even if the past hurts, it's sometimes more comfortable in the present moment. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the reading. We're going to look at the masculine and feminine energy today. We're using the Ethereal Visions deck for the masculine energy for the headspace, and the Cosmic Tarot for the feminine energy or the heart space. Some of my old school decks here. I haven't used these in a minute. Um, so the masculine headspace, we see the King of Pentacles, which is ironic because my current feeling is that I am trying to have this sense of stability in regards to the material. And then in the heart space, we see the feminine energy healing the masculine energy within her. So that's literally like what I'm going through today. Again, not surprised that that's what came out when I first started. Good morning, Cheryl. When I first started the reading. Um, Cheryl, tell me, is the moon in Cancer? Because I'm having like just crying breakdowns this morning, so I can only assume that the moon is Um, so divine masculine overall on his mind right now, it's in Leo. Oh, okay, interesting. Overall on his mind right now is money, finances, being able to have all he needs, his reputation, how people are perceiving him. He wants to be perceived as a provider and a protector. That's like important to him. The divine feminine overall for her is this feeling of being wounded. The masculine energy, like being sort of victimized or perceiving that the masculine is isolating himself, feeling that he's a victim. This is also about her being exhausted, like not being able to handle it um, anymore. Kind of having this awareness that, or this feeling that all the masculine cares about is his money, his reputation, and that in a way, like he perceives himself as a victim of her emotionally, like that, like there he gives off this air when he does convey anything to her, which is rare, but that he is somehow wounded and he doesn't know why. Like, and she's very tired of this, like exhausted of it, and also just not wanting to be alone anymore without masculine energy in her life. But at the same time, feeling like it's like she doesn't have the physical presence of the masculine, but still bears the burden and responsibility of the emotional processing. So it's like I don't get fucked. I don't get, to share in any of the material wealth. I don't get anything, but still emotionally processing for you, which is kind of what sort of happens in my connection. It's so weird. It's like when my person will make these playlists or whatever, it's like all about his woundedness and his pain and his suffering. And I'm just like, why wouldn't you just speak to me? And then all the suffering that you're imagining is happening to you or that you're feeling is happening to you. Literally, I would just talk back to you. You wouldn't be alone. You wouldn't feel abandoned. You wouldn't feel rejected. But I don't know how to get that through to you because at the end of the day, buddy, it's me that's abandoned and rejected. And And I'm not making playlists to you about it to try to get you to feel some type of way about me. So the feminine is really frustrated with how the masculine could be completely ignoring all of his emotions in regards to how he bonds with her or expresses with her on the one hand, but then expecting her to understand like how hard it is for him to do that. And she's just like, okay, I'm so tired of that. Like you're in that's a self-inflicted wound. And then you're like, it's so hard for me. You're like, okay, but this wouldn't be a problem if you just communicated. You know? Like that's where we're at here for this for the overall energy. But the Nine of Wands indicates healing. So there's deep healing of wounds in regards to material prosperity, abundance. Obviously, I'm experiencing that now. Like I'm coming to you and saying like I'm having this lack and asking to have like for people to make donations for the work that I already do, like that is healing my financial stability. So you literally are seeing that process that's reflected here in the cards in terms of the energy of the connection. What is underlying all their thoughts and decisions? Divine masculine with the Ten of Swords, divine feminine with the Three of Swords. I can't make this shit up. You saw me shuffling while I was crying, so on TikTok, so you know that I was not choosing cards specifically to reflect how it feels right now. Both masculine and feminine energy, underlying all their thoughts and decisions, is the pain of separation. For the masculine, feeling stuck by the way he's thinking about the situation. For the feminine, feeling this painful truth that there is something standing in her way, blocking her from feeling healed and whole and facing the truth that lack of decision making or the choices she's made have caused her to feel stuck. But both of them right now are experiencing pain. And that makes sense because, like I said, yesterday I was already starting to feel better as I process the feelings that I've had. And as soon as I start channeling with cards, I connect to the divine, and that energy makes me feel good immediately, which is why even when I feel a little bit down, sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to go breathe. Because if I can push through the initial emotions I'm feeling, as soon as I feel that connection, my heart just warms and I feel better and I can laugh and make jokes. And it's not like suppressing my emotions. It's literally, I feel better because I can feel the love that comes from the divine and like proves to me that it's here by the cards that I pull. But that feeling yesterday where I was so supercharged, I made the menu or started the menu for the virtual retreat that's happening on the 7th. And I was like, wow, finally I found something that's letting me do everything I love. Because this event is, I get to do public speaking, I get to perform, I get to talk to people about spirituality, I get to share nourishing recipes, and I created 3 tracks on the menu so that there's a one that like so that any personality type or anybody with any food issues or anything could still participate and feel supported. Like I was so into it. I was like, this is everything I've always wanted. Plus I'm doing tarot for the event as well. So it's hitting on everything. And there's sound healing. So it's like the music thing that I do too, all wrapped into one. And I was like, this event is I'm gonna do this every month and I'm so excited. I was really feeling really good and then boom, the energy just hit me of the separation and felt so wounding. So it's just interesting to see that that's energetically where we're at. The first thing on Divine Masculine's mind, lack mentality with the Five of Pentacles. I can see, thank you so much. I'm seeing donations coming in. I think people also are probably seeing my post from today. I bet you anything by the end of today, I will have all I need to pay my car payment, and all I had to do was ask for it. Like, really ask from my heart. So that is a very humbling feeling. that I'm not gonna think too much about because I'll start crying again, but the masculine energy is very focused in his mind on the separation. Like, what does he do to deal with it? Well, he focuses overall on his point. He's like, okay, I don't want to think about the separation with the feminine, so I'm just gonna make money. I'm gonna go to parties with people who notice me. I'm gonna make sure they see me looking good, and like just kind of do the best I can in the skin that I have, the mask that I've created. Um, because I don't want to face the real feelings I have. Because this isn't how I really feel, right? This is what I think will help me feel better. But this is how I actually feel, right? Because I'm thinking about the way I feel. And I'm thinking that you can't even believe the donations coming in right now. There's people who must be donating from the post that I made. It's just one after the other. Like I honestly I can't even believe that. And also I can, but I can't. Okay. But the masculine's head is fixated upon how he doesn't have emotional well-being. That's what he lacks, right? And that's the dynamic, having financial well-being, but not emotional well-being. Having a reputation, but one that is almost mocking him because while everyone else thinks he's just, this wonderful person, he feels like he's lacking everything that is really meaningful and valuable. And so it's kind of like an uncomfortable thing to have people noticing that. And we have here the Prince of Wands energy. Hi, Luna. I did see you there before, but I thought you had left already. So thank you so much for being here, guys. The Prince of Wands energy or the Knight of Wands energy for the heart space. This is the feminine feeling the inconsistent, inefficient, ineffective, not cold energy. And this is what makes her feel lack. Like, you show me your love, you come in hot and heavy, and but really you're just like a corpse, and I'm not into that. Not the one for that. Um, you you seem to want to sweep me up in a passionate way, but there's really nothing behind that there's no substance, right? Um, and that's definitely the feminine is needing to heal. Because look at her heart is really hurting from the experiences she's had with this masculine energy. It's very overwhelming to her. In the present moment, the masculine is feeling this energy of the Page of Pentacles. So we have here a very small offer, and the feminine looking at it and being thoughtful about it. But she's not. It's not clear if she's going to accept this or not. And the divine feminine, of course, is suspended, waiting to receive this offer. So the masculine, who's like, okay, I need to feel my best self. I have to feel like I have the most money or whatever. It's so funny because I don't know what my person's finances are like, honestly. I mean, I don't even know, like, sometimes when people have a lot of money or they're perceived as having a lot of money, they also have a lot of debt, a lot of bills. It's not necessarily they have a ton of like liquid cash lying around. So I have no idea. Um, but the perception of this person is that that person has a lot of money, and only a little bit of that money would solve all of my problems. Not that I want my person's money. I don't. I want to actually have my own. I want to have embody this energy of being able to feel financially independent. But for them to think that they don't have enough, like even the smallest amount they have would probably overwhelm me. Like I would be like, oh my god. Like so there's an illusion here that they don't have a lot to offer. There's a feeling of again emotionally lacking, right? They don't have they don't know how to make the emotional investment in someone, or they're afraid to make an emotional investment in someone. And so the divine feminine is sitting here waiting for this sense of worthiness to in, cause the masculine to initiate some kind of real world gesture. Where is this energy going? Masculine here and in the Seven of Swords energy, and the feminine in the Nine of Pentacles energy. Now, this is interesting because this is the first time we're seeing the feminine in the material. So far, we've seen her in ideas, in the Wands energy, healing, spiritual energy. We've seen her in her head, in the Three of Swords energy. And then with the Hanged Man, we see her just kind of surrendering, having to wait, there being this pause, waiting for this masculine energy. The masculine has been focused almost completely on the material. Every single card has been a pentacle for him, except for the Ten of Swords. So we can see that he is stuck. His physical reality is causing him to be unable to believe in his potential. So I know this is so the way that I would reflect this back upon myself is that my circumstances, like the number in my bank account or my ability to pay certain bills or, make moves in my life being limited by finances because I'm paying attention to my 3D physical reality, I am not allowing my actual like wealth that I have, the abundance and prosperity that I constantly am accruing with all of the giving that I do and with all of the affirmations and the spiritual work, if I could stop noticing the separation, remember that underlying all their thoughts and decisions was being stuck in their mind thinking about what hurts, right? And instead of focusing on the things that feel good in the present moment and feel abundant or prosperous, having gratitude for everything, there is this noticing of the 3D. If you're constantly looking at the 3D, you are not seeing anything except what you created before. And what you created, and oh my God, the song for today was Before by James Blake. So everything that's happening now, it's not coming from my current affirmations. It's not coming from like the way that I currently feel abundant. It's coming from before. And because I keep noticing like the things that are reflective of the lack or the painful struggles, then it keeps perpetuating. Being fully present means you are not noticing what has been caused from before or thinking about what's going to happen in the future, whether that's worrying about it or even envisioning it. Being fully present allows you to open up to new experiences and new, um, new thoughts and ideas that will create the material for you that comes next, like the future that comes next, is one of reward and abundance because you stopped noticing how you didn't have what you were focused upon not having. Does that make sense? It's kind of that loop, right? The lemniscate, the eternal, that's what we learned, the back and forth that you constantly are manifesting in your present moment what you were thinking about before. And if you can stop thinking about it in the present and just feel totally present, notice colors, smells, sounds, tastes, sensations, um, breath, like very not allowing anything else to come in and happen to you. For instance, at the very beginning of this whole reading, when I was crying and explaining how I felt, I was very present. I wasn't pushing it away. I wasn't trying to, just be like, oh, well, it's going to be better in the future. And I was just like, this is what I feel like in the very present moment. And I focused on those present moment feelings and I expressed those feelings. And then what happened? First of all, I was vulnerable and asked for what I needed, so people could give me what I was asking for. And then the floodgates opened, and I received new ideas. Now I feel if I ask for support, people will give it to me right away instead of I feel like I've been asking for support and people haven't given me anything. I have been putting notices on my meetings a few times a week that say I need your help and ask for what I need. But then I noticed no change because it's so hard to explain. It requires you to be fully present in your body, in your feelings, in your sensations to create something. Where the masculine energy is going is the Seven of Swords. I don't love this energy. This can be about coming up with a plan or a strategy. But this is half of the masculine energy's problem. He is he is in his head and he is focused on the physical. And so he is not allowing ideas or inspiration or his emotions to guide him or lead him to where he wants to go. The Seven of Swords can be cheating, it can be hiding, secrecy, deception, lying. But for me, it is truly just avoiding making a decision because of the mental conflict that you're carrying in regards to that decision. And it's trying to get away with getting what you want to happen without actually doing the work of making a decision, choosing how to proceed. Um, and the feminine energy is really feeling just having to take care of herself and nurture herself and be single and be independent and date and find that rewarding. But then also I'm feeling this exhaustion reflected in the Nine of Wands of not wanting to be alone and not wanting to be isolated either. I'm feeling like if you're single and independent for the rest of your life, then you're also alone. And so I'm feeling a real discomfort there. But let me get another layer um, of cards and see what the outcome is. Okay, so first let's go back and clarify this Five of Pentacles and Knight of Wands. I would say this is the most annoying, these are the two most annoying elements of the divine connection. Lack, with the Five of Pentacles, the separation, being kept down in the cold, and Prince of Wands, which is the player energy, like inconsistent bullshit, like I'm here for a minute and then I'm gone kind of stuff. This is the most annoying stuff. And this is in the past placement. And to clarify it, we have the Six of Cups, which is about the past, and lo and behold, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, which is showing me this resistance to the divine timing that is at play in the connection, and that comes from the need to heal all of the things that we were just talking about. Now, I've been reading for 3.5 years. I've been reading messages that they have fully developed over the course of my life changing. But if we were to go back 3 years, I bet we could get a reading that had almost all the same cards in it. So we're seeing what we saw from this initial card that came out today, the World card, which is cycles, right? And what we're seeing here is that there is this past cycle that has to change. It has to change. Like, for instance, I had to change how I was approaching making enough money to survive. Like, I have to change. Either I have to get a new job or I have to ask harder and better and more often, call to action. And, nobody wants to feel like they're asking for money all the time. Like, that is just the most annoying sensation in the world. It has to be, especially like I said to my friend yesterday as I was making adjustments on my website, like, figuring out what time I should post something live, doing this. I was like, what's really frustrating? We were told I graduated high school in 1999. And that was around the time when it was you had to go to college, and that became like a standard thing after that. You had to go to college. And they told you that if you went to college, you weren't going to have to worry about getting a job or finances. Well, I have 2 degrees, and that was not my experience. I did not go to college and then suddenly have a great job and be able to pay for everything. Like, That's not what happened. I went to college and then was able to apply for a bunch of minimum wage jobs like everybody else who had not college. So, we were told like, okay, you just have to like invest in your education and then you're gonna see it pay off. And you were told that you would have it was a time when you were told that you weren't going to have job security. That was something that was being perpetuated in the late 90s and the 2000s. That the job security that existed for the generations in the past was not something that we were going to be able to count on. And basically, they were like, but if you go and study this one thing and have the skill set, then you'll be able to find work there. Well, I studied music eventually. First I studied art history and library science, thinking I could always get a job in libraries. I wasn't that interested in making epic god tons of money. I didn't really care about that. I just wanted to make enough to like pay for a house, food, and a car, and be able to, go visit my family and friends sometimes and read books. I wasn't like all that. I wasn't like, oh, I need a mansion, or it was never really something that I felt a lot when I was first going to college. So I wasn't really concerned about that. But I thought that I was going to be able to at least support myself on, whatever job that I could get from that degree. And that's not what happened. So eventually I was like, okay, well, I need to study something more lucrative and I want to study music, so I'm going to study audio engineering because that's an engineering job and I should be able to make money doing that. Again, after I finished school, I did not find jobs in audio engineering. And so I was still doing all these scrappy things to try to get by. And I was saying to her yesterday, as I was doing the work that I was doing, right now, in order to survive, I have to, not only do I have to beg for money, I have to be the best at this job, the best at tarot, the best at presenting myself, the best at social media, the best at designing a website, the best at like taking my own photographs, editing my own videos. I have to have so many skills across so many different trades that people get college degrees to be good at. And if I don't do those things, I'm not able to promote my music or promote my content or get it out there, or it's feeling like this overwhelming feeling and having to change how we do things or change how you do things in order to create the abundance that feels lacking. And that's how it feels in the connection. It feels like we have to wear so many different hats in order to just be able to like be in a relationship. It's like, why? Why do I need a college degree? Why do I need to heal to the like seventh level of nirvana in order to just like go on a date with someone and fucking hear them talk to you? You know what I'm saying? So there's a feeling of really wanting to end cycles, change, make changes, do something to help shift the energy. Wow, this reading is just so this energy of being stuck, the masculine feeling like the feminine's not going to think he has a lot to offer or that she doesn't think he has a lot to offer already. So this is kind of loser energy and she knows it. The feminine waiting for the masculine to stop feeling like that so that they can just get on with it already. What's that clarified by? Oh, nothing. Just the devil and the five of swords. So this is the ego. This is all about the ego, all about the mind. Remember, I was talking about comfort versus discomfort, making yourself uncomfortable in order to make a change or a shift. Well, this person in the five of swords feels protected if they just kind of play dead, right? If you just kind of give up, surrender to the fear. So they're surrendering to the fear that's going on right now. And there's a need to heal these fears and anxieties that are keeping this connection stuck. Literally, all these swords are stuck in the ground. And it feels safer, but there's actually no protection for this person, right? You can go right through these swords and they're completely vulnerable, actually. They're splayed out. Like you could do anything, it would hurt them. But there is this illusion that they're protected by this thinking that they're doing in their mind, but it's not helping them. This is like the idea that you have to think about something before you can do it. So you're like, um, launching the virtual retreat that I'm doing on the 7th, I did not let myself think a lot about that. I jumped in. I got the idea, and then I was like, I'm going to tell this person and this person that this is what I'm going to do, and then we're going to do it. And we scheduled a meeting. We started doing it. I did not let myself think about all the obstacles. I did not let myself like kind of mull over how to do it perfectly. I just jumped in and surrendered to whatever would unfold. Like I kind of was more of a fool energy, and it's moved along quite well, and it's coming together well. And it's because I'm not overthinking it. But this connection right now, it's like the overthinking is just it's so fear based. Okay, I'm really praying that these last two cards are going to save us here. Okay, maybe the oracle's will help. Okay, so the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles is being clarified by the 4 of Pentacles and the 8 of Cups. The masculine is really thinking the feminine is just going to hold on to this connection forever. While he builds his financial foundation, she's going to hold it on to it. The feminine is thinking this masculine is just going to sit there forever, staring at all this bullshit that is not good for him, that he just refuses to leave. Like just the behaviors, the people, the situations, he just refuses. He just keeps sitting there and he just keeps looking at it. So the masculine thinks, well, the feminine is going to keep holding on no matter what I do. And the feminine thinks he's never going to. So I guess to protect themselves, they're just, in some cases, there might be masculines who are having other relationships. I do not see the feminine really doing that very much. She's focused more on taking care of herself, building her financial foundation. Okay. So let's get some advice for this frankly shitty energy. Hopefully the oracles help us out here. We're getting dolphin spirit, the protection message. This and that are true. When you most want to be acknowledged as right and see other ways as wrong, dolphin spirit appears as a reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you are admitting right now. Do you want to see things in black and white and be rigid in your ideas of what's correct and what is not? Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life. As you recognize the grays that remind you there are two sides to every story, an upside to each downside, and a blessing in every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you. So let dolphin spirit soften your heart so that you make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities that present themselves. The soften your heart part is the thing that's sticking out to me the most. Because both of you are in this protective energy because you're afraid. Divine feminine, you're afraid of the masculine not doing anything. Divine masculine, you're afraid of the divine feminine rejecting you because you're not doing it. I wish I could wave my wand right now. I can go get it. It's on my altar and just wave it and go. It's all better. And in a way, you can do that. You can mentally wave your wand. You know that or I know. I mean, you know now because I'm telling you. But the biggest obstacle that I can see in this reading is the devil, the fear that keeps you trapped in the mind. The other obstacle I see is that the divine masculine did not get a single card that wasn't a sword or a pentacle. There is no heart there. There is no inspiration there. It is always thinking, and observing. observing what you're thinking. There's no emotional guidance. There's no inspiration. So that is really holding the masculine back. That's really holding the masculine back. So if you feel like your life is not changing, the reason why your life isn't changing, this has nothing to do with your person, because this energy, remember, is our energy as a collective. Your life is not changing right now because you are thinking and then observing your thoughts rather than letting the feelings you have show you the thoughts that are causing you to repeat experiences in the physical. And then using inspiration, which is tuning into the divine, the wand's energy, to find new ways and new methods of thinking so that you can create a different physical manifestation. So if you're not paying attention to your feelings, like if I did not let my feelings come up today, if I ignored how much it was hurting to feel like I wasn't receiving any value from what I know is a valuable thing that I do, then I would not have created a different reality today. It was like, now looking back, I can see, I was like, why am I in this energy and why am I crying at the beginning of this reading and unable to control it? Because if I didn't feel how my thoughts about the situation were causing the same thing to happen over and over again, I couldn't change my thoughts. And the words that I am speaking are a reflection of my thoughts. So I wouldn't have changed how I spoke about my needs or how I spoke about like my financial situation. Like there's saying things like, my finances will always be bad. I'll never have stability, da da da. That's saying those things are going to be problematic for your expansion and growth. Admitting that you have a need is not saying that that need will never be fulfilled. So you are able to say, right now, I need help without it being like, because I think a lot of times I think, well, I can't say that I need help because then I'm going to be in a state where I need help. But I'm already in that state. It's not saying it that keeps me thinking about it because it keeps perpetuating it. This is the mindset that we need to cultivate. Oneness is my true nature. Now, seeing as the underlying issue for the entire reading is focusing both masculine and feminine energy focused on separation. Oneness is my true nature is the only way to counter those thoughts. If you're like, I'm away from my person, or I'm disconnected from the person, right? I'm separate from the life that I want to live, or I'm always on the outside looking in, never with the thing that I want, and you're experiencing that. But if you are able to say, when you experience lack, when you experience separation, you can be like, what is this? This is a weird thing to experience because I know that oneness is my true nature. I know that being in union is my true nature. Being separate from the person that I love, being separate from the life that I want to live, that is not normal. It has become normalized by the thoughts that I've had for so long, but it's not normal. It's like when you start to find out certain things your family did that seem super normal to you, and maybe not even bad things, just random things that you're like, wait, does everybody do that? And you're like, oh, nope, that was only my family. This is like starting to think about like, wait, it's more normal to feel at one with things. It's more normal to be in union and not in separation. And for us in this collective, that's so weird because we've all been in separation for so long. So we just keep noticing and noticing and noticing and noticing. And whatever you keep noticing, you keep creating. And so it seems like oneness is just so far fetched, but it's actually the opposite. You're actually living something that's abnormal that's become normal for you. And it doesn't mean that you're weird or abnormal. And so what if you are? I like aim to be weird and abnormal. And people that are normal are squares. I'm sorry, they're so boring. I can't. Like muggles? No, I don't wanna be a muggle, but I don't wanna think about my life in separation. I don't wanna think about my life from the lens of what I lack. I don't want my lights turned off. I don't know what happened. That had the energy in my room that just turns my lights on and off. So oneness is my true nature is a huge one. Okay, I pulled two oracles for us today because I thought we might need it. Guess I was right. And just like always happens, I always decide if one card is in reverse, I'll read the dusk guidebook, and if one is upright, I'll read the dawn. And I've always thought to myself, well, if they're both upright or if they're both in reverse, I'll just choose one. But I never have to. Like it always plays out that way. So the first card that we're going to look at here is the Dawn card, and we're getting the Rowan. I love this deck. It's really great if you are wanting to learn about plants and what season they grow in, and just stories behind certain herbs and stuff. It's pretty cool. Plus, it's just visually so gorgeous. Okay, so we're getting a summer energy from the Rowan card, and I believe it might be, yeah, it's like late summer in terms of timing. So that could be a time that is important to you, either from the past or it could have some future significance. The cards in the summer suit, I'm just going to read them to you. During summer, the entire world is full of potential. The sun is at its highest. The nights are at their shortest. And even in the darkest hours, there is warmth. The busy growing period of spring is done, and plants are in full bloom, producing the buds and branches that will bear their harvest come fall. All of the preparation for the year ahead is done, but now is the time to use those foundations to make real change. Cards in the summer suit represent exploration, fullness, freedom, and self acceptance. They are cards of celebration and creation. In the season just gone, you set the direction of your path and chose which roads you would follow. Now is the season to enjoy the journey. Rowan trees are seen as a symbol of tenacity, capable of growing in the tiniest crevices and cliffsides and rocks. You've been doing a lot of the same recently, growing well in spite of the uncertain ground you stand on. And your determination will pay off once you realize you've got an advantage over those who've had an easier path. It's easy to envy others for thriving, but give yourself credit for having thrived in adversity. Wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful energy. All right, let's look at the dusk card. This is the thistle card that came up. It's number 37, and that may be late fall or early winter. Let's Yes, late fall. So it's actually right now because we're just about to come into the winter solstice. So this is like a present moment type of a time or energy. And let me just read the fall's energy to you so you have that same reference for the fall. The year is nearing completion and it's time to reap the rewards. The cycle of the seasons has seen us mature into adulthood. And although there's still some work to be done, now we are entering a period of abundance and prosperity, and it's time to celebrate. Fall is also a season of change. With their annual toil ended, plants are scattering their seeds, retreating back underground, or starting to change color and lose their leaves. The days, too, are growing shorter, a source of melancholy for some, though an indication of the natural order of things. This is the time for preservation and reconnection, to focus on our homes rather than our fields, and to share stories of our year's experiences with our communities. Thistles may be spiky and unwelcome, but they provide a valuable food source to birds and pollinators, and it is for this reason that the thistle card represents true fulfillment. Like the thistle, you have so much to give, and the world around you is ready to give back. I'm dead by these cards. Your found family is there to help you on your journey as much as you have helped them on theirs. This joint relationship is the most emotionally satisfying of all, and the pleasure of providing for others is its own reward. Which is what I'm always, at the end of the day, when I have had not enough money to, buy new clothes or get my nails done or put tires on my car or pay the car payment or register the car or whatever, I will always think to myself, I would rather be doing the job where I'm giving things to others and not getting paid a lot than doing all the jobs I've done before where I don't get paid a lot. So I'm just going to keep doing this one because giving is a reward in and of itself. And then today, having that experience of if you let people know that you have needs, they will give to you. Just, just, just a full circle world card reading for me today. And then finally, look at the theme for the week, people. It's the devil. The card that I told you in this reading was the biggest issue that I could see. Fear, anxiety, giving into fear, letting it make you feel like giving up, like definitely I have felt like giving up so many times this past year. It was so weird. I got like a notification from the pattern app on my phone today, but the pattern app wasn't even downloaded. And I was like, weird. How does it give me notifications if it's not even downloaded? And it was saying that this challenging time was coming to an end or whatever. And so I went to look at it and then realized I had to download the app to even read it. It was very bizarre. But I was thinking about how often I have felt in the past year, like giving up, and I mean on a grand scale giving up, like the kind of giving up that you would probably need to go to a hospital for giving up. And I've I've had I've gone through a lot of struggles in recent years, but this year I have really been so exhausted and hearing myself just be like, "Oh, I hope I get COVID and can't recover from it." Like, because not that I have active ideation for how I would end my life, but just really being like, I don't like letting that devil energy come in and be like, I don't think there's going to be any change. I don't see this getting any better. I feel like I'm just going to keep struggling and not get anywhere and feel overwhelmed and just surrendering to that energy, surrendering to those voices that make me feel lack. It's just been one of the most challenging times that I have ever faced. And the wins I've had this year, they've been like significant in the grand scale, but they have been so small that it's felt like it doesn't pay off. And it's been so difficult to keep pushing back against that voice, that ego voice of, you know, maybe you don't deserve anything and maybe you should just be like, this is how your life should be and maybe this is how it's always going to be. So that is a call to face that darkness. And remember, you don't ever have to do that alone. Like, if you're a fan of The Exorcist, like the show or the old movie or whatever, there isn't just one person fighting that demon. Everybody is affected by that demon, from the mother, the family members, the priests involved. Like it's not just one single person fighting. And it feels like that because that's what that demon does. Like that demon does its best to make you feel isolated and to make you feel separate and to make you feel like oneness is not your true nature. But it is. That's the fact is it's the devil energy that is lying. That's the lie. Because the separation is just an illusion. It's always been an illusion and it will continue to be one until you overcome it. So that is my best advice for you today amidst my own struggles. And I will say I am very much looking forward to the Vision for Your Life guided retreat. I am going to participate in it. I'm going to pre-record some of the content so that I can just watch it with the people that are all together and journal with you and do my vision boarding with you and participate in it because I need it as much for myself as I do in leading it. Really, I'm only leading it, I'm only organizing it, I feel like. You know, I'm like organizing it, and then we're all kind of going through it together. If you're interested in that event, it begins at 11 a.m. on Saturday, January 7th. There will be 30 participants who will gather virtually to support one another in creating time and space in our own homes to relax, relate, release, and recreate the vision for our life as we know it. Everyone's familiar with New Year's resolutions, but what if instead of trying to eat better and exercise more, you found the true motivation for making a commitment to the life that you dream of? Or maybe you don't even let yourself dream of the life that you truly desire, and now is the time that you tune in your heart to tune into your heart to discover what your life could be. Most wellness retreats can cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and the benefits gained on location get thrown up limited when you return to your own home, filled with all the distractions and priorities that you were able to leave behind while you escape. But I wanted to create an opportunity to teach ourselves how to make a sacred space amidst the demands of real life so that we can continue to reap the rewards of conscious self care right in our homes. And for only $100 for the whole event. So if that's something you want to participate in, click the link in my profile. Um, Click the menu. There is an events header in the menu. Choose that, and you can see the tickets are on sale right now. And there's only 30 tickets available. After that, I will be recording the whole event and the discussions, etc., so that people will have access to it after they've participated in the event. They'll still be able to go back and watch some of the content from it that we did that day. And I will also make that available to people who are not able to afford the $100 price point. I will probably set it at like half the cost, so that you can do it at home yourself after the event if you would like to do that. So if you're interested in that, definitely take advantage. I'm very excited about that. Everybody, um, I like somebody said, no, girl, keep the exorcist away from me. Okay, so I'm gonna close out my YouTube reading, but I will head over to TikTok right now and focus on anybody who would like a personal reading. There are some people who sent donations. I don't know if anybody paid for a reading today in the chat. I will find out. Thank you so much, YouTube. I will see you later next week on Monday. And of course, there will be replays of TikTok lives available throughout the week, as long as I can download them. For members who did not get a chance to see the Tell Me Everything extended reading that happened on Saturday, for some reason it did not save um, a live for me to upload. I contacted them and they haven't gotten back to me yet, so that might just be gone. And I was planning to just do another separate reading for this week, so you'll have your own separate reading if you're a member on the site, and then there will be the extended one, hopefully on Saturday. So thank you so much, YouTube, and I will see you